What's up? What's up? Hope everybody's having a good night. Hope everybody's had a good weekend. Boy, have I got a good one for you tonight. This one, I promise, is going to be short and sweet. I'm going to try to keep this one under 30 minutes. Um, but just like the title says, in all of my digs and deep dives and hunts all around the internet and especially X, I have come across a little piece of information, a piece of evidence that, in fact, the crazy story that some of us tin hat wearers on the internet are believing and putting out there now. There's proof that that is actually a very, very, very likely and plausible explanation for what happened. So I'll tell you what, just real quick before I pull this up, we got to I gotta have a little suspense anyway. But before that, I want to kind of go through just I want to go through just the kind of arguments and the way most people have reacted to this, and just to get us up to this point, and then we'll have the grand finale. Um, so obviously, when this first happened, there was a lot of confusion, a lot of back and forth, a lot of different stories. Everybody, everybody had their own opinions. Most people thought that it was a gunshot. Um, and then, of course, the FBI came out, said they found a gun, said they found a screwdriver, a towel, all that good stuff, all with his DNA on it, Tyler Robinson's DNA, and that he was most definitely the shooter because they found a gun with his DNA on it. The thing that was so hard to sell about that was the fact that it is that gun is a 30-06, and anybody that's had any kind of experience with firearms knows and doesn't even question the fact that 5-6 inches of human neck is not going to stop a 150, 180 grain bullet that's coming out at 2,800 feet per second and has 3,000 foot-pounds of energy. Just not possible. And there's been lots of people out there that have done testing, Heavy Duty Country, Jesse on Fire, Valhalla. There's been a bunch of them that have done tests with all kinds of different style rounds, and even and Trigger Smart, and that also includes the latest story that we got. That includes the frangibles. That being said, that's the going FBI narrative. Most anybody that's looking into this really doesn't really believe that. One of the things that came up early on, and I can't remember now who specifically started talking about this, but pretty early on, I do remember. I think Stu Peters actually was one of the earlier ones. Anyway, early on there was the exploding lapel mic that I heard about, and I'll tell you what. When I first heard that, I just rolled my eyes and thought, "Yeah, okay, whatever." And there were some pretty big channels, pretty prominent creators that had the same reaction. Um, Valhalla's one of them. I can't necessarily think of any others off the top of my head, but when you say exploding microphone, it just it makes people go, yeah, that's crazy. Because you think about a ball of fire and a big puff of smoke, and nobody saw that. All that being said, John Bray has done a ton of work on this whole theory, and his hypothesis is that it was and this is military grade, micro shaped charge. And this would be made out of a special explosive that would not have all the fire and smoke, but that this shaped charge was meant to go straight into his chest, mimic a bullet wound to the chest, And of course, things went awry. The microphone, and what you can see this in pictures and videos on X, that somehow or another it got turned kind of sideways. And so we're thinking that, with it turned sideways like that, it didn't go straight into his chest like it was meant to. And also, a piece of it blew off, caught him in the neck, severing severing a portion of his neck. And then the rest is history. And there were several reports early on. Nobody's talking about it anymore much, but there were several reports of him when he got to the hospital, him having his chest caved in. There were a couple eyewitnesses that literally said that he had been shot in the chest because they had seen a chest wound, or they had seen evidence of a chest wound. So I don't know about all that. Hopefully that'll all get, sussed out in the end. But what I want to do is first, I'm going to play a couple clips. And I can't speak for everybody else, but me, myself, whenever I heard this exploding microphone theory just get even mentioned, this right here is what it made me think of. And I feel like this is what most everybody else was also thinking of. And for anybody that does not know, that is when our greatest ally got a hold of the pagers, and for 10 years had this charge in them, got them into the hands of Hezbollah, and decided one day it was time, hit the button, and they all started going off. Well, this is what I thought of when I heard exploding microphone. And so I can understand people writing this off. I'll play that one more time. I mean, you can't see a whole lot of it because it's right there just almost out of frame. But when it goes off, you can see the smoke and stuff blow everywhere. So it's pretty dramatic what happened there. And again, I can understand people just saying, nah, no way, you're crazy. And I got one more I'm going to play that to me is probably even more dramatic. And again, actually this does prove one thing, at least, is that it is possible to put a small charge in an electronic device and the electronic device still work as intended. And that would be the only way, obviously, that this could have happened in Charlie's case. According to John Bray, the battery in there, you can take out, I want to say he said 20%. I think he said taking out 20% of the battery that's in there. And then with that space that taking out that 20% leaves, would be enough room to do a small shape charge. And I could totally be mistaken, but it seems like, according to his math, I believe it was 2 grams of explosive that it would require to do the job. But don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure that's what he said. Now, talking about Charlie and his microphone, I'm going to bring up a picture of one of the microphones like Charlie used, And this is beside a, this is side by side with the drone, just for a size comparison, a little micro drone. So it may be hard to tell. It may be hard to tell looking at the computer screen, but I can tell you for sure, just judging off of the size of the piece in relation to the hand, that drone is smaller than that microphone. And it's smaller than that microphone in every way. That microphone is wider, taller, and the case of it is thicker than that little tiny drone. So I'm going to pull up one more. I think maybe it even shows that comparison even better. There's another one. That's the same microphone that Charlie was using. I think it was the Go 2. I know it was a Rode Wireless Go, but I'm not 100%. But no matter if it's the Rode Go 2, the wireless Go 2, or just the regular wireless Go, the case size is really, really close, if not identical. So again, you can see that microphone there is bigger than that little tiny drone. So for the grand finale, I'm going to pull up this this video. Let's see here. I'm going to pull up this video, and I cannot remember the name of the guy now. Anyway, this is a video of an actual demonstration of a micro drone and what it can do with a small explosive. And we can back it up and, you know, replay some spots a time or two. But when you watch this video, I just want you to pay special attention to obviously the size of it, and then what happens when it goes off, how dramatic it is. If this looks anything like what we saw with Charlie, I don't know how I've never run across this clip before, and I don't know how others haven't run across and brought this clip out and played. But I mean, I'm convinced 100% by watching this 30-second, whatever it is, 30-second clip, that all the people that laugh and say you're crazy for thinking that could have been an explosion, everybody would have known it was an explosion. You're dumb. All of those people, this right here proves that they are absolutely wrong, and that this technology does in fact exist. And in my opinion, would be much easier to facilitate this with that Rode wireless microphone than it would even be this drone. Let me get this going. I'll quit teasing it. Let's see what we got. See what, and then I'll come back and point out a few things. Let you know what I think about it.
Here is 3 grams of shaped explosive. This is how it works.
3 grams is what he said this thing has got. Now, unless I misremember it, I'm pretty sure John Bray said that according to the math, it would take 2 grams in that wireless microphone to do what was needed to handle the job.
This is how it works. Did you see that?
Did you see that?
Did you see that? That little bang is enough to penetrate the skull and destroy the contents.
What about that? 2 grams, and he says in the beginning that it is a shaped charge. This wasn't hidden under a shirt or anything. Literally comes and sets down on that head, and when it sets down on that head and it goes off, It sounds like a small caliber rifle, and you see a little tiny puff of smoke. I mean, nothing that would be out of the ordinary with a gunshot, honestly, and an actual gunshot wound. That little puff of smoke, I mean, it reminded me of an actual gunshot.
Did you see that? That little
Basically, for all intents and purposes, that is a gunshot without the gun. It's just, I mean, it's like a gunshot in that, you know, it has the energy and the projectile, you know, everything else happens besides you don't have to have the gun behind it. So hopefully John Bray will see this, and if I was him, I would definitely put this up on the X feed and show it to all the haters and all the ones that are arguing about the fact that it can't be done, because it most definitely can be done. And I should have some more details on how that all works and goes down after I get this interview done with the Accurate Energy Systems employee. I meant to pull in one more clip. Let me try to do that real fast, and then we'll get out of here. I just really wanted to. I had to put that clip on. I had to share that, because again, I don't know how I've overlooked it, how I've not seen that clip. But when I saw it, it was kind of in passing, thumbing through, and I was like, "Whoa, shit!" Got to play that again. Let's see here. All right, just be patient. I apologize. I'm going to try to make this really quick. X. Oh, where's he at? There we go. All right, I'm getting there, I promise. Where's it at? Where's it at? Come on, come on, come on, come on. I apologize. I'll have that here in just a second. Okay, I found it. All right, just let me get it added in here. Share screen. Okay. I need to get me another screen. It would make this much easier. Right now, I'm just doing this off of one screen. So there's a lot of going back and forth. Okay, let's see. this is the one I need. All right. If you'll watch that shirt, you see when his shirt puffs up, you see right in here and right there. Does that not look like just a little puff of light gray smoke coming through there? You can see it in the back also. Watch it one more time. Right in here. There we go. And so the shirt moves in the front first, right? Shirt moves in the front. That's the thing going off. It's being pushed out away from his body. Shirt catches it. And then once it does that, all that energy is coming out of the front of it from the explosion, the gases, and it has to escape. Where would it escape? Well, obviously, what wasn't able to penetrate his chest would go back. And with it being at a slight angle, it would go also up, but it would be blowing back. And so it makes perfect sense that the back of his shirt would follow. So, like I said, it goes off, it's forced out away from his body, and then the gases and stuff have to release somewhere. That's what pushes the back of his shirt back. It's exactly what it looks like. It's just a puff of something, but you can see that light gray smoke. And I don't know how clear it is after. I know it's a little grainy even for me watching it, but then I know it goes through YouTube and you're watching it. So you may not be able to see that, but right in there, you can definitely see just a little faint puff of gray smoke.
Is enough to penetrate the skull and destroy the contents.
Something similar to this right here.
Did you see that?
Did anybody see any fire? Did anybody see that little drone get blown into smithereens? No. Like I was explaining last night, the way those shape charges are designed to work and the way they do work is they have some type of metallic, generally it's copper, but they have a little cone on the inside, and the cone does two things. The cone forces all the energy forward, out, whichever direction it's pointing. It forces that energy out, and of course, it's shaped everything. Obviously, everything is super. They dial it in exactly what they want it to do, how far they want it to go. But it's all made to tight specifications to force that energy in a certain way. And the only way that it can do that is if it contains and doesn't explode. I mean, if it blew apart and you had a standard, like a radial explosion where it goes out all around everywhere, then it would not work for its purpose. The only way a shaped charge works is if it only goes one direction. So when that thing goes off, you would never see, a big ball of fire, and you would never see parts flying everywhere. Now, I think in Charlie's case, it was a weak case, a little crack spot in it. Nobody knew was there, or just some stupid something. I do believe that was just an accidental little piece of shrapnel for whatever reason. But it's my opinion that the case somewhat stayed together, or at least it was designed to. And like I said, that's the only way a shaped charge could work. But it about had to have, because otherwise I think you would have seen, you know, his shirt being torn and stuff flying everywhere, possibly a, a ball of fire. I think it pretty well did what it was supposed to do. It contained that little blast and forced all that energy out in towards his body. I could talk about this for hours. This is good stuff. I really just wanted to jump on here for a few minutes just to share this little video clip and you know, kind of tell what I think about it and explain it for those who haven't been able to keep up with all this. I really feel like we're getting close. Obviously, there's still probably some work that's got to be done as far as motives and all the little, you know, others involved and motives and all that good stuff. There's still quite a bit of digging to do there, but I feel like we're getting really close, at least on the method of delivery or the murder weapon. So please, if you're not subscribed to this channel, subscribe, like the video. That would be great. Small channel, very small channel, tiny in fact. And these videos, they won't go anywhere if people aren't subscribing and liking and sharing. That's the only way to get these things to move at this point. And I want to get as many people in here as possible and share. So, all right, it's late. I'm going to go to bed, and I will see y'all guys in a day or two. Thanks again, and once again, subscribe, please. I'll have a good night.